9 injured in mass shooting in Cincinnati. Police say at least 2 people fired shots. Police were called to the scene at 1:37 a.m. on Sunday. This was published originally on August 8th, 2022 for WLWT.com. Let's go to Cincinnati, Ohio. 9 people were taken to the hospital after a shooting in Over-the-Rhine Sunday. I believe Over-the-Rhine is a bar. It started around 1:39 a.m. when officers were called to Main and 13th Streets for a report of a disorderly crowd. While officers were working to clear the crowd from the streets, a fight broke out between 2 groups of people nearby. Police said 2 people involved in the fight pulled out guns and exchanged gunfire near the intersection of Main and Woodward streets. Yes, 2 Americans using their God-given right, their American duty to have a mass shooting, of course, because this is what needs to happen on a regular, consistent basis in America. We constantly need to be afraid to go to the bar, to have fun, to go to parties without the fear of mass death or mass injury. Yes. This is the American way. Police said 2 officers saw a person shooting people on Main Street. One of the officers, who has been identified as Officer Joe Shook, fired a round at the shooter in an effort to stop the threat. Shortly after Shook fired at the shooter fled the scene towards Sycamore Street. I guess good job for the police officer being the good guy with the gun, trying to stop the bad guy with the gun. But what if Officer Joe Shook accidentally shot a innocent civilian in the crowd, a pedestrian, and this person lost their life? Of course, this needs to be the way that we handle mass shootings, by having more people armed with guns, because that makes more and more sense. Yes, the only way to stop the mass deaths and the mass shootings in America is arming more and more people. And yes, the police are here to protect us, but we need to have more of them out in the streets. We need to spend more and more tax dollars to have public safety, because public safety in other countries is done the same way. Yes, there are no mass shootings in Canada, Italy, where I'm filming right now, in Mauritius. There's no mass shootings here because those people spend billions of dollars in tax dollars every year to their police to make sure that they shoot any mass shooter that they think will come. That is how it's done. It's absolutely not how it's done. I'm being sarcastic. America will continue to have mass shootings and continue to have mass deaths where 9 people can get shot at a bar, and it doesn't make national news because to Americans this is normal. This is normal. Police said it's unknown if the officer hit the suspect when he fired the shot. There is no question the actions of Joe Shook and his partner saved lives, Cincinnati police officials said during a press conference. Police said they believe there were at least 2 people firing shots during the incident. There is somebody out there who knows who this person is, Colonel Mike John with CPD said. Police said all they have right now is a vague description of one of the suspects, who was described as wearing a white shirt and dark pants. Cincinnati police gave first aid to a lot of the victims on the scene, applying tourniquets to gunshot wounds. Cincinnati police transported some of the victims while others self-transported to area hospitals. 9 people were ultimately treated at the University of Cincinnati Medical Center for non-life-threatening injuries. But there's no such thing as non-life-threatening injuries, because every time somebody is shot, that's a traumatic incident, and they could possibly later succumb to their injuries. This is why it's important, even with a mass shooting doesn't result in anybody dying, that we still take this seriously, because these people will have their lives permanently changed. We don't know if they'll need psychological help, permanent therapy, anything like that. This is a waste of money. It does not have to be like this. Our society can be much safer. I'm filming this video in Mauritius, a small island nation in Africa. Many people will call this a third world nation. But in this third world nation where I am, I've never felt safer. I can turn on the news here and almost guarantee that there has not been a mass shooting or people even using firearms on a regular basis to solve their disputes. Anyway, I'll continue. The victims included 8 men and 1 woman whose ages range from 23 to 47 years old. Bullets have no names, and age ain't nothing but a number to a bullet. So, a spokesperson for UC Medical Center says all 9 people have been treated and released. My heart goes out to the victims and their families, and I thank God there were no fatalities last night. And that's because our police officers responded with heroic and immediate action, Puraval said. Police said officers used flashbangs for crowd control in the aftermath of the shooting. Today's events are completely and totally unacceptable. The use of guns to solve disputes cannot become a normal part of our culture. I want to express the city's gratitude to the officers on the scene. Their quick response likely saved many more from injury and prevented the loss of life, Puraval said in a statement. Yeah, whoever Puraval is, I think he's a police chief, right, as I said earlier. Whoever this guy Puraval is, anybody who is not saying that we need to abolish the Second Amendment, have real actual gun control in America, lessen the amount of guns that permeate in society, legal and illegal, they can all suck my dick. Yeah, get rid of the guns. Lindsay Swadner, the owner of the hub in Over-the-Rhine, was working when she said she heard 30 shots and walked outside where she saw multiple people with gunshot wounds. All right. This is a tweet from Rob Portman praying for a quick recovery for all those impacted by the shooting earlier this morning in Cincinnati, urging any witnesses who have video footage or knowledge of what happened to contact Cincinnati police. Yeah, Rob Portman, suck my dick unless you're talking about getting rid of the guns. Eat a dick. Swadner said after that's when the chaos erupted. Police began to run and find safety moments after they were enjoying a night out with friends and family. The hub became a safe haven with multiple people running inside to seek cover and safety. There was probably about 25 to 30 shots fired off in 2 separate rounds. You had first where it went bang, 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 bang. We all start looking around going, was it over? And then you heard a bang, 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 and everyone started running inside of wherever you could go, Swadner recalled. And so we started pulling people inside. I made sure everyone was inside. I walked up the street to see what happened, and there was, of course, more shooting victims. I'm not sure how many. This sounds like a third world nation. This sounds like a lot of the places that Americans imagine other places to be like. This sounds like Afghanistan. This sounds like Somalia. This sounds like FARC-controlled Colombia. But this is the United States of America, where 30 shots can go off at 1:30 a.m. at a bar. You don't know how many times I've been out in bars in different countries, in different places. Here in Mauritius right now, I could go out and be at the bar until 2 or 3 a.m. and never have to worry about something like this happening. I could be out in Turkey till 2, 3, 4 a.m. Never have to worry about this happening. Only rarely would I ever have to worry. But in the United States of America, the richest, most powerful, most prosperous nation in human history, people can get shot at a bar. Why? Because the gun is worshipped. The gun is God. To the Second Amendment advocates, the gun is a giant penis that they want to fillet. They want to lick up and down the penis, up and down the shaft of their guns, and worship that, because that's what they really think is what makes them American, what makes them straight, what makes them big and powerful. Stupid people. Stupid people. She added that among the people seeking cover inside the hub was a wedding party. Wow, at a wedding. There was also a separate shooting at the banks earlier Sunday morning where 2 other people were shot. WLWT is told the 2 shootings WLWT is told the 2 shootings aren't believed to be related. We are working to learn more about that incident. Well, yes, they are related because they happen in the United States of America. And these people, whether illegally or legally, were able to get guns because they proliferate all over society. So whether they were absolutely different people, these 2 people succumbed to the gun culture and level of violence that exists in the U.S. Cincinnati police said they have been adding patrols to Main Street in the recent weeks due to crowds. Police said the investigation is still in its preliminary stages. They're asking anyone who may have witnessed the shooting or has any information to call police at this number. So I hope a full recovery for the people in Cincinnati who were victims of this mass shooting, this horrible tragedy, this tragedy that happens so often in the United States that this sort of story doesn't get mainstream attention. But I will never forget the people. I will never not see this as a tragedy. Doesn't matter what part of America it happens way too often, and it needs to stop. In the United States of America, there have been close to 500 mass shootings just this year in 2022. 500 mass shootings, that's close to 2 a day or more, and we're only in August. So, my name is Simon Hill. Thank you for watching. Abolish the Second Amendment. Peace. Put the guns down.